So now we're going to the scapular releases in front. You can see it drop there. Now I'm not going, now the horse that I don't remember who, was it Leslie maybe that was talking about? Nope, it was Liam. Her horse that stomped the foot couldn't do. He had so much tension in his shoulders and obviously in his neck and his poll that he wasn't able to relax the scapula in the scapular release as she was doing it. So she has to, when they can't do it, you have to back up and go smaller increments and lighter, or go somewhere else and then come back to that. So in her horses, if I tried to do this with her horse, with Leah's horse, I wouldn't have been able to do this. So I would have just picked his leg up slightly, or shifted his weight off of the leg and slid his toe out just a few inches just to get a tiny drop, and then go from there. Then we'll come back and do down and back.
Hello, Jim.
Yes. Hi,
This
Leah.
is Leah.
Did
How
my
are you?
answers help you with your horse?
Yeah, thank you very much for the answer.
He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, well, it's not my horse, it's a friend's horse. And she was in a terrible state. That my question is, the scapular releases, are they also accessing the nervous system, like the light touch and the air gap?
Yeah, there's yes. When you move anything through a range of motion in a relaxed state, the nervous system will let the tension go. So you're not mechanically pulling on a leg. That would be stretching a muscle, which is fine, but it's not what we do. But as you're doing the leg releases, the leg starts to relax. When he feels tension, when you go through that relaxed state and you're moving the scapula, if he's got tension there, that's when he's feeling it, because he's not protecting it. And he's going to pull his leg back up. So if you yield and then you get him, when you yield and soften, then he lets that tension go. His nervous system lets the tension go, and then it drops. So you're working with the nervous system by doing the light touch, and you're working with the nervous system by doing the movement techniques in a relaxed state.
And can it overload too by doing the scapular releases?
Yeah, you can overload the horse easily if you're doing it too softly and if you're doing it too effectively, the nervous system gets overloaded, and then they won't let you touch them, or they'll completely shut down. They'll just shut down. So you want to pay attention to when they're overloading.
Yeah, the thing is, I do the scapular releases on my mare before riding every day. Yeah. Like I release it to let her loosen up, and I was wondering, because you said you shouldn't do it every day because it overloads the nervous system.
If your horses release the tension and they're relaxed already, then it's helpful to do it every day to keep them relaxed. But if you were to do you don't want to do like a full session on a horse every day, because he'll get overloaded. So I do the same thing when I do my horses. I do scapular releases. I do a tiny bit of lateral flexion, and I spend maybe 5 minutes doing it. But if you were to spend 45 minutes every day on your horse, then he would get overloaded. And he'd tell you either by not letting you touch him, pinning his ears, or he'd tell you by completely shutting down, no responses, or you'd know when you got on, he was too wonky.